Investors like the look of the latest numbers from Blackberry. The stock up in the pre-market, and the company increased its revenue forecast for the full year. We're joined by Kingsley Crane, Director and Senior Software Analyst at Canaccord Genuity. Kingsley, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Can you just remind us what kind of software does Blackberry sell these days? Is it lots of auto software through QNX? And then they also have this Internet of Things franchise, don't they, for devices connected to the internet?
Right. So, yes, thanks for having me, Andrew. It's always a pleasure. The face of the Blackberry franchise has changed considerably over the past, call it a decade. They do have the QNX business, which largely markets to automotives today. It's a software control plane for IoT devices that also is able to fulfill functions in the general embedded market, which consists of functions like robotics, medical devices, industrial automation. That's been less of the business for them. That's 18% of QNX in the past year, but from a bookings perspective, that's actually increased more recently. And of course, they still have a secure communication segment post the divestiture of Cylance, which has been a nice performing segment for them recently.
And does that date way back to when BlackBerry devices were dominant in government and industry? People love the good security features?
That's right. So it is a government and military focused segment. And to that end, we've seen some nice green shoots and growth in this past quarter with some other governments in Europe that have decided that they want to double down either within defense spending or on ensuring that their communications are more secure.
Now, you have a hold on the stock. You feel that the good news is priced in currently?
We do. I mean, we definitely think that the company is headed in the right direction post the Cylance divestiture. There's certainly a renewed energy and focus around the QNX business since it's been rebranded back from BlackBerry IoT, and they've been doubling down on embracing open systems. And they've had great momentum with inking partnerships. We remain hold rated. We still see this year as a transition year as we await more material traction, converting the company's large backlog in QNX into more near-term revenue.
What about self-driving cars? Will that be an important avenue of growth for them?
Absolutely. I mean, what we're seeing is the software stack taking over the vehicle. And in terms of self-driving capabilities, that fits perfectly into QNX's wheelhouse with, one, the rise of more complex software in the car, as well as it's an incredibly safety-first type of feature. And that's where QNX has been strong in the past, and that's where they're starting to see more traction in their revenue today as well.
And are they selling their auto software into Asia as well, or is it mostly European and North American car makers?
They do have some traction in the Asian market. That's been a tougher market to break into. It's a bit idiosyncratic, so there is an opportunity there. But primarily it's been the American, it's been the North American and the European opportunity for them. Which is a large global opportunity.
It's really interesting, isn't it? This so-called embedded software. So devices, medical, robotics, all these devices can connect to the internet unnecessarily. I think in some cases, who needs a fridge that you can control remotely? In any case, but you think that so-called Internet of Things is an important growth avenue?
It's very important for them, and we believe that it could be even bigger than the auto business for them over time. I mean, if you think longer term, IoT devices should triple by 2030 to 125 billion. 75% of data is being created and processed by the edge. A lot of that isn't used well, maybe if it's in your fridge. But if you digitize more of these assets, you need a more sophisticated software stack that can handle all those capabilities, and that's QNX's sweet spot.
And does BlackBerry, most of its employees, are they in the Waterloo, Ontario area, or do they have other software centers around the world?
Most are in Waterloo. It's a global presence, and they've had a great time finding talent in a number of geos across the globe.
Right. And so just on revenue, so I mean, they're a big company, I see, revenue of about 534 million in their latest year. You see revenue of about 523 million this year. You have just increased it a bit. But so it looks like sales this year won't grow that much.
Sales, they're going through a bit of a transition this year. I mean, I would remind you that last year's numbers reflect the silence business, which they've since divested.
Okay.
So they're still growing on a comparable basis to last year, but really, I think that the true growth story is about finding a larger inflection in QNX growth as their large backlog translates into revenue later this year, and especially in fiscal 27. And that's really not factoring in some of this larger opportunity in the general embedded market that we've called out. I mean, 43% of their bookings on their new 8.0 platform are actually coming from general embedded.